Hi, on today's episode, I want to give you some insight and helpful tips that you can use when it's time to trade in your vehicle. Let's go ahead and jump right into it. The first thing that I would recommend is that you get two offers. So let's say you have a particular vehicle that you want to trade in. What I recommend is go online. There's some online car buying companies that you can literally get. You can put your VIN number in, fill out some details, and get an appraisal on your vehicle. You can do that, or you can actually literally visit some of the some of the bigger dealerships and get an appraisal on your vehicle as well, so you can get something in written form. Now, it's going to be key to make sure that you're getting it in written form because you want to be able to bring that out in case if you need it. So let's say, for instance, you go to the dealership that you're looking at purchasing your new car from and that you're trading in your car to, and you want to get an offer from them, and then you want to see what their offer is. And depending on what that offer is, that will help you decide on if you need to bring out that paper of the previous trade-in offer that you received from somewhere else. The next thing that I would recommend is make sure that your vehicle is clean. Some people don't think about this. They're like, well, I'm trading in a car, so, I know I haven't cleaned my car in a few days or a month or two or whatever the case may be. But you want to make sure that you have a clean car, because if I'm a dealer and I'm looking at your car, I'm thinking in my mind, or I can be thinking, well, if this car is very dirty, has this customer really taken care of their vehicle? Have they properly changed the oil on schedule? Have they done the things that needs to be done in order to properly maintain the vehicle? It's something as simple as having a car clean that can tell a lot about a person. So I would encourage you to consider that and do that before you go and visit the actual dealership. The next thing that I would recommend is pulling a Carfax report. So let's just say, for instance, you may have skipped this process of pulling a Carfax report when you first bought your vehicle. Now, let's just say, for instance, you have no idea of the history of the car. You want to be the first one to know the history and know if there's any type of accidents, because let's just say you go to a dealership and they they look at your car, they appraise it, and then they look and pull the Carfax report, and they notice that it had a moderate accident. They can come back to you and say, I'm going to give you $1,000 or $1,500 less, or maybe $2,000 less because of the Carfax report. So you don't want to be shocked in knowing that, oh, I'm going to get less money for my trade I would encourage you to know that ahead of time, before someone lets you know. You should know that. And the most important thing that I would say is, from a dealership standpoint, they're looking at it from the perspective of either I'm going to sell this car, I'm going to sell it at the auction, or I'm going to sell it retail to another client or another customer. You may get a lower, or you will get a lower offer on your car if it has like a moderate car accident or something like that, because that story is going to have to be retold when it's time for them to sell the vehicle if they're selling it retail. But if they're sending it to the auction, it's a little bit different, but they will get less amount of money. So when they're giving you an offer for a vehicle, they are looking at it from their perspective of, is this going to be a profitable vehicle for me to sell retail, or do I need to sell it and send it to the auction? And if I send it to the auction, I want to make sure that I'm getting at least what I put in it, if not make a few dollars or so over that. So that's the thinking behind when you're trading in the car, knowing what the Carfax report is, knowing if you're going to get a lower offer and so forth beforehand. And let's just say, for instance, if there's a discrepancy, let's say you had the accident and it was a slight accident, you backed into a mailbox, or you were in a Walmart parking lot or whatever grocery store parking lot that you're at, and you accidentally tapped into somebody's vehicle. Now, on the Carfax report, it may come back as moderate or major or something like that, the policeman that showed up at the accident could have accidentally put the wrong information and put it in the wrong category. So therefore, you can go ahead and dispute that before you show up at a dealership and before it's time to trade in the car. So, you want to be cautious of that because that can cost you a lot of money if you're not aware of what's on the Carfax report and dispute it ahead of time if need be. Okay, next thing is always receive an offer rather than saying out loud what you want up front. So you want to let the dealer that you're working with, let them make the offer to you first. Don't go in and say, they may ask you, so how much you want for your trade? Don't just blurt out and say, well, I want 5,000 or whatever you can give me for the car. No, just go ahead and let them make a educated decision. Remember, they are professionals. They buy cars all the time. So they know what they need to do and where they need to be at when making an offer on your vehicle. But let them make the offer. And then if that offer is not good to you or you don't like the offer and you've done that other step that I told you about by getting another offer beforehand, then you can pull out that offer and say, hey, I received the offer from XYZ. Is this something that you will consider in matching? And then go from that. Go from there. Either the dealer can say, yes, I'll match it, or no, I won't. And then you make the decision whether or not if you want to trade your vehicle in at that place or if you want to take it somewhere else. So keep that in the back of your mind. Here's another tip to consider. If you have a mechanical problem, get a repair quote first. So let's say if your check engine light is on, I would recommend that you go and find out what the cost of the repair is beforehand, because you can have that just like you had the other piece of paper of the offer from another dealer. You can have that data to the side just in case if that become an issue at the dealership that you're looking at buying your new car from. So the dealer may come and tell you, hey, because the check engine light is on, we don't know what that could be. We're going to deduct $1,000 off the car. But let's say you had already received a repair quote and they said it's going to be something as simple as an O2 sensor or some minor repair, and it's only $250. And this is just for an example. It's only $250. Then you can let that dealer know, hey, I know what the repair is, and your shop can check it out for themselves. But here's the repair quote that I received. So rather than you trying to deduct $1,000 off of my trade, how about $250? Because that's what the quote I received. So you can use that to your advantage when you're trading in. And also it could be helpful for the dealer to know exactly what the deal is, and they can give you a fair quote on the vehicle. Understanding negative equity. Now, just because a dealer offers you, let's just say $10,000 for your trade, that doesn't mean that, oh, it's just going to be $10,000 deducted off of your car, the new car purchase that you're looking at. It can be if you owe no money on the vehicle, but let's just say, for instance, you owe, let's say $5,000 remaining as a balance, a payoff on your vehicle. What's going to happen is the dealer is going to offer you $10,000 for the vehicle. There's going to be $5,000 in positive equity that you're looking at that can be deducted. So again, it's not the $10,000 that's going to be deducted off the price, the overall price. It's going to be $5,000 of equity that's going to be deducted, minus some of your tax savings as well. So now that can go the other way, that if the dealer is offering you $10,000 for your trade, but then you owe $15,000, that means you have $5,000 in negative equity, and that will be added to the selling price or to the drive-out price of the new vehicle that you're looking at. So again, let's say you're buying a $25,000 vehicle and you have $5,000 in negative equity. Now you're looking at a $30,000 vehicle plus taxes and fees and so forth, because of the negative equity has to be tacked on to the new loan unless you're going to pay cash or pay the difference for the loan and pay it off, then you can have the difference of that. So let's just say that same $25,000 vehicle that you're looking at buying, and you have $15,000 as your payoff. Well, let me back up just a second. $25,000 as the selling price of the new vehicle. The dealer gave you $10,000 for your vehicle, but then you don't owe any money on it. So you can take $25,000 minus the $10,000. That will equal out to $15,000 that you'll be paying for the new car, plus taxes and fees and so forth. So that's a brief little understanding. I probably need to do another video that really goes into details of understanding negative equity. But I just wanted to let you know that if you have negative equity, it doesn't just vanish and go away. You have to keep in consideration that that negative will be added on top of the new loan, and be prepared for that. Okay, consider the pros and cons of selling your car on your own, or trading it into a dealership. Some of the pros of selling it on your own is you can make more money. And one of the places that I like to personally sell, like personal vehicles that I'm selling, I like to utilize Facebook Marketplace. I think it's a great place that you can go and sell your car, and you can see the people that you're buying or that's looking at buying your vehicle. But you still got to be careful. There are some scams that's going out there, and people may say, hey, I'm interested in buying your car, but I'm gonna send my brother to come look at it. Is that okay? And I'll pay you over the phone. I like to meet the people that are actually buying the vehicle. Number one, they're going to need to sign for the car as well. So it's very important to keep that in the back of your mind. And then also, if you're selling your vehicle to a private owner, you want to meet up at a public place. You don't want to meet up, just have them come to your home, and especially like late at night or something like that. No, you want to meet up at a public place, such as, a credit union or one of your financial institutions or the police station, or somewhere that there's a population of people around that can see you, just in case if something goes wrong. So be prepared of that. So that's some of the cons of selling it on your own, because you have to deal with, am I dealing with a real person? Am I dealing with a scammer? I remember I sold my vehicle to an individual, and I had him to meet me at my office, and the gentleman pulled out a whole bunch of cash, and I got nervous a little bit, because I was like, oh my gosh, how do I determine if this money is real? I forgot to look up online to, get the tips of verifying, what a $100 bill is and so forth. And, or not what a $100 bill, but what a real $100 bill is compared to a counterfeit $100 bill, because again, you have scammers out there and you want to protect yourself. So I was a little nervous with that, but it turned out to be, it was real money and so forth. But you want to think ahead of time. Think about, like, what does a real $100 bill look like? What are some of those areas that you can detect if it's phony money or not? Once you know that, that can better help equip you when you're meeting with someone and if they're paying cash for it. Now, trading into a dealership, you can take out the hassle of all that, of meeting with people and all that, and just sell it directly to the dealership, and then it's gone. Once you sign on the dotted line, it's gone. That's one option. It's less stress, less effort, but the con is you potentially get a chance to make less money as well. So you have to decide, do I want to make a little bit more money? If you do, you can sell it on your own. Or if you just don't want to deal with that whole process of trying to sell it on your own, just go ahead and trade it into a dealership and be done with it. Okay, next steps. If you like this video, I would encourage you to, if you like the video, I would like you to click the like button, and subscribe to my channel. That's actually number 2. But number 1 is, if you are needing any type of assistance, I run a credit union auto buying service that we provide free consultations. Using our service costs you nothing if you're a credit union member. And if you're not a credit union member, we can connect you with one of our credit unions and potentially join. Now, our service areas are mainly in the Southeast, and also we launched recently up in the state of Maine. So if you're in the Southeast USA or in the state of Maine, we would love to offer our assistance. And you can easily just go to cuautosearch.com/member service. Thank you so much for your time, and I hope this video was helpful. And again, if it was helpful, please click the like button and subscribe to my channel. Thank you and have a great day.